Please like and subscribe.
After he transformed into his demon slayer form, Fang Cheng continued to fiercely destroy the octopus demons that continued to attack him in waves. Blood and pieces of flesh were flying everywhere, and painful screams could be heard as the demons continued to die, seeing that the guy had turned into a demon. The huge octopus watching from the side was extremely surprised, as it had never seen such cases before. As Fang Cheng continued to kill demons, he thought about the fact that he had only expected to kill the few he ranked demons to make money from them, but he never thought that he would have to face so many opponents and even a drunk demon. So the huge wise octopus demon behind Fang Cheng began to mock him, saying that even though he possessed the body of a demon, he did not know how to use it or what it was. "A demon like you, who thinks he is above the world," said Fang Cheng, turning to the huge octopus. "How can you understand?" he asked, pushing himself off the ground and jumping into the air, swinging his hand swords to strike. Then he added, facing the demon, that someone like him can't understand how hard it is for a normal person to survive. The huge octopus demon successfully blocked Fang Cheng's attack with his scythe parrying. All of the guy's attacks he even counterattacked, forcing the guy to retreat to a safe distance. The huge octopus was impressed, saying that Fang Cheng knew a couple of good moves, but even so, Fang Cheng was slow, which the octopus decided to take advantage of by lightning fast releasing its tentacles, which flew towards the guy at great speed. After that, they wrapped around his body and bound him tightly, preventing him from moving. Fang Cheng was confused, not knowing what to do or how to get out, as he realized that the huge octopus was right. His speed was obviously not enough, while his strength was also useless. In front of the tentacles, the octopus caught Fang Cheng and shouted happily that it had caught him, holding Fang Cheng with its tentacles. The huge octopus told Fang Cheng that it would destroy his dual-hand swords, which he was so proud of, and mockingly added that it would see what he would use to fight him and see what he could do without using the swords that he was so proud of. After that, he forcefully clenched Fang Cheng's hand swords with his tentacles and was able to shatter them into small pieces. Fang Cheng was amazed that the demon was able to destroy his main weapon with such ease. But the worst news was that he couldn't materialize them again, as they would most likely be used only after some time. The huge octopus demon was not the stupidest of opponents and did not wait but attacked as soon as he destroyed the enemy's main weapon. Releasing more of its tentacles, it aimed them at Fang Cheng, after which it began to beat up the guy who could only receive blows one-sidedly. After beating Fang Cheng, the octopus forcefully threw him into the pile of stones that was a building earlier. Kneeling down after the blow, Fang Cheng noted that this octopus was much smarter than his previous opponent, and since Fang Cheng was a close-range fighter, he would have an advantage if he could find his opponent's weaknesses, devise a plan, and get close to him, but he didn't have time to devise a plan as the octopus was already beside him, swinging its side at him with the as well as mockingly asking where the guy's pride had gone, after which the octopus gave a devastating blow with its huge side, but fortunately Fang Cheng had no problem dodging the blow all the while he kept thinking about how to defeat the octopus. His gaze fell on the demon's large eye, which was located in the middle of its head, which seemed to be the demon's softest and weakest point, stood in front of the octopus, who, noticing the guy's determination, was puzzled because he didn't understand what made the guy so confident even in this position. In the next moment, Fang Cheng quickly and forcefully kicked the ground as if he were kicking a soccer ball, causing a lot of sand and pieces of earth to fly straight towards the octopus at a great speed. The effect of surprise worked, and the octopus was hit in the eye by the sand and pieces of earth before it could dodge, causing it to cry out painfully. Calling Fang Cheng a sneaky bastard, Fang Cheng was not going to stop there, replying that against a demon like him, he was not going to shy away from any means, taking the opportunity while the demon was covering his injured self with his hands. Fang Cheng gave him a strong fist punch to his stomach, causing him to cry out painfully and bend in half, after which the octopus painfully said that it was very painful, adding that he now had to get rid of this useless body. The octopus body began to separate from the body. It was parasitizing, but Fang Cheng was not going to let it go so easily as he was already almost defeated. He grabbed his spear from the ground, which most likely belonged to one of the demons he had killed earlier. He threw it with all his might at the head of the demon octopus that was trying to escape. The downed octopus let out a painful death scream, lying on the ground with its head pierced by the spear. The wise octopus planned its next action. Since his brain wasn't completely destroyed, he only needed some time to recover, so he decided that the perfect solution was to pretend to be dead, until his brain recovered, or Fang Cheng just walked away, but he rushed at the octopus, activating his hand swords, which had already recovered. The demon was chopped into pieces. The next moment, a voice in Fang Cheng's head announced that he had killed a wise octopus, gaining its tentacle ability. The protagonist thought to himself that although the ability was strange, it could be quite useful. Since it could be used not only to fight enemies but also in other situations such as a rope or extra hands to grab something. Suddenly a strong pain pierced his head, and then a voice said that the urge to kill was dissipating and his human form began to recover. After that, the demon slayer's form began to disintegrate after regaining his human form. Fang Cheng regretfully noted that this time the demon slayer had not activated the body's self-healing ability, leaving him not in the best condition. It really wasn't an easy victory as luck played a huge role in his victory, and if it weren't for the sandy terrain and the octopus being a bit more careful, Fang Cheng wouldn't even know what he could have done, but luckily everything turned out fine and he won, which was the main thing. In addition, a D-class monster had to cause much more damage than ordinary monsters, which paid for all his efforts. People walking down the street would step aside at the side of a guy walking down the street. Some people couldn't even look at his direction, feeling very disgusted. The person who everyone ran away from was Fang Cheng, who had a large octopus demon head tied behind his back with many severed limbs sticking out of it and blood dripping onto the floor, creating a trail of blood behind him around his waist. He arrived at the Hunters Guild, where he could get a reward. Fang Cheng said as he approached a huge skyscraper with two huge statues standing at the entrance. He entered the Hunters Association building, and it was quite crowded with hunters standing everywhere, both singly and in groups, talking excitedly about something. Almost everyone was carrying weapons, and others had also come with their prey, like Fang Cheng, who was heading straight to the center where the deal was to take place. Since he was here for the first time, he watched the professional hunters with interest and also enjoyed the atmosphere here, which was special in its own way. The two men wearing glasses who were standing near the wall noticed Fang Cheng's prey, confirming that it was indeed a D-class demon, when they felt someone's gaze on them. Fang Cheng turned towards the men who were looking at him. Seeing them, he realized that they were the inspectors of the Hunters Association, and they were indeed talking about his prey. When they approached Fang Cheng, the men in glasses immediately began to question him about how he was able to defeat a D-class demon, despite his weak body and young age, and then began to make accusations, saying that he must have stolen it somewhere. Fang Cheng, on the other hand, calmly asked the men why ordinary students can't hunt demons, but the men weren't going to listen to him and started demanding that he show his hunter's ID, but Fang Cheng knew the rules. According to which inspectors do not have the right to demand someone's license for inspection, and understood that they just want to complicate the situation, and in a successful case to get a profit for themselves. The two men in glasses rushed at Fang Cheng as if they were prey, but their hands never reached Fang Cheng as he deftly dodged and then sprinted away to a safe distance. More hunters began to watch the scuffle, hoping that something interesting would happen. A man with a scar on his face and wearing the clothes of an adventurer watched the conflict with interest, noting that the guy carrying a heavy load on his back was able to handle the two men who attacked him, from which there was only one conclusion: God was not an ordinary student. One of the inspectors, enraged by his blunder, rushed at Fang Cheng, cursing him and asking how he dared to run away from him. The man with glasses grabbed Fang Cheng by the scruff of the neck, hoping to teach him a lesson, but he failed as Fang Cheng intercepted his arm. Fang Cheng grabbed the man's arm and hit him in the face with it, causing him to cry out painfully, clearly not expecting such a turn of events. The second inspector had already managed to approach him from behind, hoping to catch him by surprise, but to his bewilderment, Fang Cheng grabbed the hand he was about to strike and threw it over him, causing him to fall to the ground with a thud. Fang Cheng stood in the middle of the inspectors lying at his feet, but no one even rebuked him even more. Most of them praised him for his excellent skills. A man with a scarred face and adventurous clothes called out to Fang Cheng, telling him that the fight was over and saying that he had seen everything that had happened. He smilingly introduced himself as the vice president of the Hunters Association, adding that he was impressed by Fang Cheng's strength and that he was capable of defeating a D-class demon. And then both those men stand up again and say to the vice president, "He's causing trouble, please take action. This kid has no eyes, he's wild in the Hunters Union." But the inspectors state that you have no insight, you can't gauge other strengths, instead, you initiate conflict and then report it. No excuses, you two are dismissed. The Hunters Union doesn't tolerate fools. And then Zhou Tai turned his attention to Fang Cheng. He remarked, "He's quite skilled, you must have some outstanding hunter ability." Fang Cheng replied modestly, "I don't possess any hunter abilities." Cheng was cautious not to reveal his true abilities as a demon slayer to outsiders. Some onlookers were surprised, wondering how he could defeat two strong men while carrying a heavy load. They suspected that he was hiding something. The vice president, however, believed in Fang Cheng's sincerity. Zhou Tai guided him to claim his rewards and thanked him for his contribution. Fang Cheng was introduced to Xiao Nan, an officer in charge of exchanging bounties. Xiao Nan possessed the incredible ability of telekinesis, allowing her to handle heavy corpses with ease. Vice President Zhou Tai made a playful comment that from now on, if you want to collect the reward, just come to Xiao Nan directly, there is no need to queue up, and Xiao Nan is still single, so you two might as well chat. Xiao Nan blushed in response to the remark. Fang Cheng expressed his gratitude to the vice president, saying, "Thank you, vice president. I may not have any special hunter abilities, but I appreciate your support." Vice President Zhou Tai shared his own journey, revealing that he had achieved his position by honing his physical abilities, including fighting and forging skills. He had become a prominent figure among hunters despite lacking unique abilities. Fang Cheng was impressed by Zhou Tai's achievements, realizing that it was truly remarkable to rise in the Hunters Union based on physical prowess alone. Xiao Nan completed the calculation of Fang Cheng's reward for the D-rank Wise Octopus was 100,000 yuan, and for the 10 E-class Octopus Demons, he received 30,000 yuan plus a 10,000 yuan incentive bonus totaling 140,000 yuan. The funds were promptly transferred to his bank card. Cheng received the card and expressed his gratitude to Xiao Nan. Vice President Zhou Tai offered Fang Cheng some parting advice, saying that looking at your performance today, your skills may be rough, but next time you come back, give me a call and I'll teach you some moves. Xiao Nan eavesdropped on the conversation, finding it dull as it revolved around combat and practice, yet she couldn't deny her attraction to Fang Cheng. Pondering his romantic interests as Fang Cheng left, he couldn't help but think about his sister, who had high hopes for him. He was eager to return home and share the news of his successful bounty hunt.